SLTV.com. Best video game store ever! Fast as lightning! Solid as a rock! Cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
SportsBets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone.
We have over 200,000 users registered.
Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. eSportsBets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the SLTV Pro series. I'm SB Revolution 5 bringing you this game between Yellow Submarine and 4ASC. 4ASC being on your Dire team on the top, your Radiant team being, of course, Yellow Submarine on the bottom. Now these are two teams who are both in the TI5 qualifiers for EU. Yep, that's right. Sorry, I had a second to,
10 seconds remaining.
had to think there for a second, sorry about that. But,
5 seconds remaining.
they won't face off unless they both make the playoffs, potentially, but should still be a very interesting match here. Kind of a preview for your EU qualifiers so you can get all your ducks in a row. And again, thank you for joining us on Truesight TV. I was going to be joined by Kong Edward for game number 1, but there was a mix-up with the game disconnecting and whatnot, and he didn't quite make it into the lobby. So, unfortunately, he won't be joining me until game number 2 here. But we'll have him back then. Anyways, let's get right underway as 4ASC do ban out the Broodmother, also banning out the Tree as well. We do see Yellow Submarine banning out Leshrac and Gyrocopter, two of the very big top picks in late game cores here. This means they'll be able to get their hands on an IO Shadowfiend combo, while 4ASC will go with the Queen of Pain, and they'll actually pick up the Tusk that I believe, I want to say it's Boogie that plays it often. Forgive me because I am not quite as well versed on this team as I am on some others. I don't get to watch as much EU Dota as I'd like. I don't get to cast nearly as much EU Dota as I'd like, but very happy to be bringing you guys this game today. And we will see how it goes. Bane already being picked up by 4ASC now. So, a hero I'm not particularly fond of, but does offer a ton in terms of lockdown, especially against BKB-focused cores like the Shadowfiend, who generally is going to build BKB 9 times out of 10.
Dire team pick.
We will be seeing Darkseer, though, picked up as well. And Weaver, picked up by 4ASC. So, the burst damage coming out from this team is very big, and they've got the Bane with the Weaver. A lot of lockdown, and a Weaver and a Queen of Pain who, well, they're going to need a lot of lockdown to keep them under control. Spirit Breaker maybe not going to be the best at that. He usually is pretty good against invisible heroes, but today we may not see that as much.
Reserve time.
Again, though, a big shout out to everybody for coming out. Make sure you tell your friends. This is a pretty big match. I'm actually surprised we don't have more people around for it, but that seems to be the case right now. Nevertheless, those of you that are here, we really do appreciate here at Truesight TV. Viper going to be banned out by Yellow Submarine, as well as the AA and Dazzle in the second phase. You see Tiny Bristleback Phantom Lancer banned out as well. Still a CK available in the pool if they want to pick it up, and definitely having room for a core. I mean, Spirit Breaker IO, assuming that's your support duo, you've got a mid Shadowfiend and a Darkseer in the offlane with Spirit Breaker roaming, they could definitely have room for a CK. Now, Queen of Pain is relatively good against CK, but it'll actually be a Troll Warlord here for Yellow Submarine. Even though he's been nerfed, he's really only nerfed in the laning stage and with his ult. He'll definitely do enough, and that can pretty much guarantee that Spirit Breaker can get some sort of bash off. But it'll be a Mirana for 4ASC. A little surprising that it wasn't banned out, seeing as Bane was on the court. And also, a bit surprising that they actually banned out Viper. I wouldn't have banned Viper personally up against Bane, maybe if I didn't have much time, but simply because I feel like Viper and Bane do not synergize well. I mean, Viper's got tons of damage over time. Bane doesn't do well with a lot of damage over time on the team, in my opinion. Now, of course, Queen of Pain's, what is it? Her Stifling Dagger won't be too much of an issue there, but Bane being a setup for something else is pretty big as well. And Troll Warlord may run into a pretty tough time here. Anyways, once again, oh, thank you, Maxim. Let me just edit that real quick. This is a best of 3. We are waiting on one hero from... Wait, what? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to confirm some things. Looks like my co-caster won't be joining me for game 2. Oh, wrong overlay here. Let me just, fix this real quick. Sorry for the production value, I know, going on here. That's me, SP Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. Big shout out to Asus ROG, as well as, esportbets.com and g2a.com for sponsoring the tournament, and of course Starladder for letting us cast, and a special shout out to Hefla for helping us get the gig. Anyways, do have some movement going around in the jungle here. A very interesting ward. It must be off of that new ward bundle chest. It looks like there's not going to be too much. Boogie actually going to get slowed down here a bit. He does have a snowball to possibly get away from, but he'll run into 2 ion shells. Nightmare gonna try to keep him alive, but it won't do quite enough. And Miposhka on the Troll Warlord will be securing your first blood there for Yellow Submarine. Gonna get harassed out a bit here. We also have Dale on the Darkseer, Barash on the Shadow Fiend. Nice juke in the arrow, by the way. F will be on your Spirit Breaker, and we'll have PSM on the Wisp. On the side of 4ASC, it's going to be Valix on the Bane. Nymphy will be on your Mirana. On the other end, Boogie headed back from his first blood death to the lane on the Tusk. It looks like I was right about his signature. Matumba Man going to be on your Queen of Pain. And up top, Trixie will be playing the Weaver. Once again, guys, I'm SP Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. I didn't fix... yeah, of course I fixed the overlay because I spent some time doing it. So, no problem. Very excited to have you guys here today. And hope you're going to enjoy the broadcast as well. And Mirana gonna get an arrow off on the Troll Warlord as well, and he'll be going down. I'm gonna see if I can line up a second caster real fast, possibly, but we shall see indeed. Troll Warlord may be having a little bit of a rough time in lane. Again, his Berserker's Rage was nerfed. He lost the bonus damage that he got with it, which makes his laning stage a lot harder. But if he's staying in range form, pretty much doesn't change the matchup. However, you're not going to have as much damage with your bash ability there. And of course, the biggest nerf being the ultimate. As Buki will be trying to get a good snowball off here. Mirana appears to be in the farming role for the team so far. And they've got Weaver a nice solo safe lane matchup up against the Darkseer. Usually Darkseer are going to dominate the lane. Should do just fine against a Weaver, but Weaver should also survive this lane very well at the same time. Nymphy is going to be able to leap away here. Nightmare off on the IO and an arrow to connect on Spirit Breaker. At least body blocking in there, a little bit of a kink in their plans. As meanwhile, up top, I was saying Weaver should have an easy matchup. He is going to go down to the Darkseer here, thanks to the Ion Shell. He'll pick himself up some extra regen, it looks like, as well as a TP scroll or two, I guess. Oh, looks like Valix just bought him a TP as well. But Valix, meanwhile, getting bashed up here, will get put into the snowball and jump on the Wisp. Gonna get a brain sap off to help him sustain through here. Mirana leaping forward, but now under fire as she's gonna drop to 100 HP. Wisp still going down on the back lines, will end up falling. Nymphy gonna get charged up by Spirit Breaker. He needs a bash. He doesn't need a bash, actually, as he'll take her down. So a 1-for-1 trade on the bot lane. Of course, they're losing that core Mirana just to take down the Wisp. Not exactly 100% favorable here, and they will be probably sending Valix back to the base as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, Queen of Pain picking up the bottle, probably gonna bottle Crow maybe here. Yep, as Shadow Fiend will be finding himself a rune, as well as Boots of Speed. Queen of Pain going for a bit of a greedier build with the Null Talisman, but Shadow Fiend already having his boots up as well, which is going to help him a lot against Queen of Pain to kind of juke around and hopefully get a few more last hits. Be less open to harass during that as well.
No gold for you.
Trixie, meanwhile, going to be trying to farm up here. Should be okay. I'd like to see a Ring of Health picked up on him early just to help sustain in the lane. Otherwise, I feel like he's going to have a very tough time against Darkseer. Just by getting tickled down by Ion Shell. With the Ring of Health, at least he can sit back and regen if he has to. And Spirit Breaker gonna help Io take down these trees here. There is a bottle picked up, but it looks like Boogie will actually be grabbing the Bounty Rune right now. He'll get charged up by Spirit Breaker. Shadow Fiend coming on in to join the party, as Queen of Pain will be getting a DD rune up top. Shadow Fiend now done with that Magic Wand, which is going to help him a lot against Queen of Pain in terms of sustain. Still haven't seen any real smoke ganks come out, and Barash able to start cleaning up a stack here, sitting on 17, 18 souls. Looks like a Nightmare Arrow combo coming out to help bring down PSM. Bane's incredibly high right clicks, helping out a ton there as well. And Queen of Pain grabbing a double damage rune, going to activate and snowball on in on the Shadow Fiend. The action does not stop here. This is your lower bracket final once again for the Starlighter TV Pro Series on Truesight TV, and I also need to fix the HUD. Thank you for reminding yourself, Revo. You're welcome, chat, or Revo, or whoever. Do the radio have any? Oh, they've got a compendium ward, you know. Pretty standard these days, but we'll see Nymphy getting charged out here. And gonna get a nice Star Storm off to at least push them back some. Arrow gonna fly, not gonna hit the mark though, as Wisp will not be connected on there. Weaver actually able to take down Darkseer though, with the help of some friends up here. I think it was just the Ice Shards used from Tusk, and maybe something else, not too sure. Spirit Breaker though, finding the Weaver as soon as he TP'd to the bot lane. Not the best decision here. He does end up going for that Ring of Health though. And there's a nice arrow out on Miposhka, who will get hit by 2 of the Star Storms. And now Matamba Man coming in, Sonic Wave to take him down. Gonna blink forward, but will be a little bit out of position. And Spirit Breaker gonna dive a little too deep and end up going down. It's 4-7 now for ASC, looking very dominant at the moment. They are sitting on about 1,000 gold advantage, about 750 XP, but this is still a very close game. And the ganking duo of the Tusk and the Bane is working out incredibly well, just for helping stall in these small engagements with the Snowball and the Nightmare. You can just kind of buy yourself some time to move around. You may not be able to do much damage using them alone, but it will still do the job. Of course, Yellow Submarine looking for some levels here. Wisp trying to get some levels. We'll actually pop the haste rune and surge on out of there. I'm a little surprised he didn't try to grab these last 2 creeps here. But we'll be spiriting up and helping push this lane back out so they don't get too much damage on the tower. And he'll quickly pass the bottle off to Spirit Breaker. He'll use the charge, pass the charge back to him. Classic bottle shenanigans with that little 2-second window to pretend like you're still in the fountain, basically. Volix actually going to get a Nightmare off on Shadow Fiend. There will be a charge bot on Mirana. Nymphy getting jumped on. The Wisp Spirit's gonna connect. There's a TP coming in from Tusk, as well as the Bane right now. But by the time they get there, Mirana will already be out of the party. Boogie trying to jump on PSM. There should be a Brain Sap available, but there's no mana. Meanwhile, the Matumba Man actually coming in, taking down the Spirit Breaker, taking down the IO. Looks like Troll will be able to get away, but a 1-for-2 trade here on the bot lane. And some good XP going the way of Matumba Man, who is already level 8 at this point. And while we see Shadow Fiend picking up his treads, Tusk picking up some Tranquil Boots, as well as yet another smoke, I believe it was. How many smokes have they bought? Oh, they've only bought the one. I guess that was the same one he bought in the beginning. Trixie gonna get charged up here. Does have an ult available, and the dust does miss thanks to that. Keep in mind those particles from dust, they don't actually apply the dust. The dust is instantly applied in the AoE, no matter when the particles hit. So the fact that he dusted right before Weaver ulted means that Weaver's not affected by dust at all. However, this top tower will be pretty much undefended. Not seeing TP rotations come in. They don't have another dust available, but Trixie's still going to get charged up by the Spirit Breaker. The Ion Shell should do some work. Trixie actually going to be able to Shikuchi away from there. As meanwhile, the bot tower does go under siege as Troll Warlord goes down there. Sorry for missing that kill, but there's action going on all over the map, guys. It's a little hard to keep track of, to be honest. Svalix is going to get a Nightmare off on himself. It will be purged with that Darkseer Ion Shell. 34 HP remaining on Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, not Queen of Pain. Sorry about that. And Io actually getting killed by a neutral creep, so actually we'll say 5 to 10 here. Spirit Breaker is going to be in a bit of trouble. Could be going down. One more right click will do the job. He will try to charge, but Bane actually going to secure the kill there, I believe, with the earn charge. And he is on a dominating spree. 4-0-3. You take a look at these KDs, you're going to see that he is sitting king of the leaderboard right now in terms of kills, in terms of deaths, and in terms of assists. Well, not really leading in terms of deaths. That's going to be your Io, who is pretty much the inverse of the Bane right now. Troll Warlord down here on the bot lane. Arrow will slightly miss. By the way, shout out to Volvo for putting in a little dust trail on the arrow so I can tell where it was and how far I missed it. Because, yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mipashka going to be taking down some creeps in the jungle here. Hasn't picked up a point in Fervor, instead going for the second point in Berserker's Rage. Does give you a little more bash duration, a little more bash damage, and a little more move speed. I haven't seen this hero in so long. I do need to pull up the changes. Dota 2, 684. There we go. Should just have this bookmarked, but every time I use it, I learn things that I need to use less. Oh, here we go. Troll. Nope, next. Troll. There we go. Yeah, it was the vision nerf on the axes and the 15 damage nerf in Rain, as well as the 2 damage nerf, or 2-second nerf on the ult. And actually, Spirit Breaker almost getting charged down here. Queen of Pain does have a haste rune and will be able to secure the kill, despite the overcharge coming out from Io. Matumba Man, well, he's making me quite the Matumba fan here. He is 2-0-2, sitting on very good farm. Not the best in the world, but definitely enough, and he's created so much space for the team. Really, what we're more concerned with here is the Weaver's farm. Now, of course, most of the farm advantage overall going the way of Yellow Submarine, as they actually do try to Nightmare the Shadow Fiend. He is going to charge up the ult and get it off on 3 there. Boogie coming in, will get the Walrus Punch off, but keep in mind that's a 50% damage reduction on the Tusk. As Matumba Man will go down there. Okay, I was just making sure. I played a lot of Shadow Fiend, but I just wanted to make sure it was attack damage reduction and not overall damage reduction, because that would be a bit ridiculous, to be honest. Although, attack damage reduction is probably going to be a little more effective against Tusk, seeing as he applies a buff there. Now, Mipashka going to get hit by an arrow here. Can they make something happen? Mirana actually going to get charged, and now they know there's a ward on the high ground. But now Spirit Breaker outside of the pit. This Roshan not going down incredibly quickly, but at about half health. Now they will take down the Sigil there. Mirana arrow going to slightly miss. And they're trying to make a jump here. Meanwhile, up top we do have Weaver split pushing. Getting decent farm, does have his Aquila up now. And there will be a faked charge coming out. They will deward this as well. Very nicely done by Nymphy there. And we are going to see a quick pause come out from Mipashka. Lags. I'm going to go ahead and believe them. And I do have a co-caster set up for game number 2, so that should be very, very nice indeed. And this game, if it goes to 3 games even, it should be done just about in time for your TI qualifiers for the day. The winner going on to face alternate attacks in a best of 5 where alternate have a 1-game advantage, but Valix actually is going to Nightmare, but instantly get woken up. You know that study about micro sleeps in the car? That was basically what that was, only he had a full Nightmare during one. Arrow does come out on F, but they're going to continue taking this Roche. Looks like. And it looks like Roche will go down. Shadow Fiend going to pick up the Aegis. Matumba Man going to get jumped on. He does have a blink away, though. As he will not lose anyone. 7-14. Actually, a 1.5k gold advantage for Yellow Submarine, as 4ASC have about a 700 XP deficit. Now, there is going to be a snowball through here just to stop them from engaging directly on Boogie, who is, I believe, going for a Solar Crest, a very useful item on Tusk these days, in my opinion. Yes, we do have Trixie. By the way, my co-caster for Game 2 / possibly Game 3 will be the outstanding, the wonderful, the Maker, who I thought was modded on this channel, and I'm going to fix that very shortly. Yeah, I am logged in as Truesight TV. Okay. Charge coming out on Trixie, it looks like. Should be able to connect. Relocate, though, coming in from the Wisp. Actually going to dust him up and take him down with just a Razor 2. Did not have a time-lapse available. Arrow coming out, but gonna split the heroes just barely there. Matumba Man, under cover of the Moonlight Shadow, is gonna be in a bit of trouble. They will try to throw off the ult from Spirit Breaker, but of course the damage coming out onto him will be very nice. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Maker is modded now, as there's a slight lull in the action. Sorry about the brief stints of housekeeping that had to be done there. Looks like Wisp will be picking up 3 smokes and some Sentry Observer wards. Tusk gonna pop the smoke on himself, as, how many do they have in reserve? None. But there's another up in a minute. Bane doesn't have one. And I don't see anything in the shop / courier. Valak's gonna get charged up. And could be going down, but actually will stay alive thanks to a brain sap. Does have a ult to use here, but he actually throws it off and immediately says, you know what, not quite worth it. Let's back off here. Shadow Fiend Requiem coming out now. Nymphy will be able to help bring down the Spirit Breaker. And Boogie trying to trade hits with Barash here. And actually the Medallion doing a lot of work. Weaver on the other side of the ice shards there, sorry. Gonna be able to help take him down. Arrow gonna miss and be slightly off the mark for Barash here. A nice leap away from Nymphy. And Nightmare coming out on him as well. It's currently a 2-for-3 trade, but keep in mind one of those was an Aegis on the Shadow Fiend. And Valix will actually barely be able to get away. The Surge from Dale only being 2 points, not enough time for Barish to really get in there. However, it looks like they will be forfeiting a tower here. Arrow gonna connect for quite a while there, and Trixie coming on in. He will have the time lapse to get on out. Now, do they have a dust available? They do not, actually, as Matumba Man is getting charged up. Does not have a blink away as well, as it's only 3 points up in that, and will be going down. Wisp trying to stay alive here, actually is going to be taking down the Troll Warlord and going after Dale at this point. Arrow, whoa, how did that even miss? Whatever, as Dale will end up going down nonetheless. Spirit Breaker trying to get away here. Do they have any TPs to respond to this? They could potentially intercept him if they're quick enough, but of course Spirit Breaker being quite a speedy hero himself, with that 1 point in the empowering haste.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I still feel like empowering haste is a very underrated ability, just because of the amount of bonus damage it can give the Spirit Breaker when it's maxed. I mean, you're looking at 18% move speed. I'm not going to do all the math on that, to be honest, right now, just because, you know, but...
Endurance run.
But if anybody in chat is willing to do that math, that'd be nice. Dark Troll Summoner actually picked up a Troll's Helm here. I guess great trolls think alike here, as he'll be starting to stack up some camps with that. We were going to throw out the Swarm, but it won't connect on anything really here, as they do smoke. I believe this ward didn't quite see them, but it may have, as it wasn't a decent place. However, the fact that 4ASC are not responding to it leads me to believe they haven't. Actually, Weaver going for a catch-up Midas here, as he is going to be aiming toward the late game. I'm not too sure about that decision here. Valix going to get a bash off here, and Valix going to Nightmare himself up, but once again, the Spirits from the Wisp doing a lot to counteract that. Nice swarm off from Weaver, will connect on 2, but of course Troll able to help bring those down, as the other Troll will come in here to assist. And they should be losing a mid-tower right now. Boogie gonna throw out Ice Shards. Charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker, and this is where showing yourself on the map against the Spirit Breaker just gets very dangerous. Arrow on the Shadow Fiend. Sorry, I was having trouble figuring out where Nymphy was there. Once again, guys, a big shout out to you guys for taking a break from your busy day. Watching Truesight TV, yeah. Yeah, Mish Pasha actually getting Fiend Script up here. Nice micro there on the Troll, and a nice escape from the Wisp, as he's able to relocate him slightly farther back for just a moment. As you can see, they're basically right on top of where they relocated from, but just to get him a little farther away from the team. There will be an arrow connecting on Shadow Fiend for just a moment as the snowball comes in, but Boogie gonna get hit by an ult and a raise to bring him down as well. And Matumba Man gonna be having his Orchid ready in just a moment here. They can't seem to track him down, though, because there is a Nightmare out on the Shadow Fiend, but there's no arrow to follow it up because Nymphy is back in the fountain. So, yeah. Just playing past the Nightmare for a bit here. Can somebody tell me if you hear the vibration from my cell phone through the mic? Because this is something I need to know. For production value issues, I don't want you guys to have to continue hearing that if you don't have to. I want to give you guys the best stream possible, and that's one of the things that we can improve on here. We're going to see a charge out from Spirit Breaker, Vacuum, and a wall coming in. Trixie gonna be falling right here, and actually had the Midas ready to use, but no buyback available. There will be a Nightmare saving Boogie for a moment. He'll actually snowball forward onto the Spirit Breaker. He tries to get a Walrus Punch off, but doesn't quite get it, and that's another tower going the way of Yellow Submarine, who are retaining their advantage. There have been a couple dips in that gold graph, but again, Troll actually showing he still has a place in the metagame here. Just as, hey, let's push. Okay, let's push. It's kind of a Tiny Wisp, Drow Visage, win a lane, or win a fight, get a tower mentality. Or even really don't win a fight, still get a tower. Matama Man will get a silence off there. A nice Nightmare defensively on him, which can kind of work as a time release Shadow Demon disruption, sort of. They are going to get a ward down here, another very interesting new ward from that collection. Spirit Breaker tried to charge out there. They will get an arrow off on him briefly, but we're going to have Barash get BKB'd up, and he'll actually get hit by the Fiend's Grip, but they're not able to dish out a lot of damage. It's just a defensive one, and Boogie going to get hit by the Requiem as well. He will throw out the Sigil, which will be slowing them down, but of course the haste movement speed from Darkseer coming on in will bring an end to that. Trixie going to get jumped on as well. A big Starstorm, though, coming out on 4. It's a triple kill for Matamba Man. Make it an Ultra as they take down the Shadow Fiend as well. Wisp actually bought back here, and it could be a pretty big dieback as well, as he will go down. That's a 5-man wipe. A pretty big swing for 4ASC, despite the fact they just lost 2 towers and half a Rax. It is a 4K gold swing for 4ASC right now. 1,200 gold going over to the Bane, about 1,100 to the Queen of Pain. I mean, we're looking at a pretty big moment here in the game. And while his efforts were nice to say, hey, I'm going to save you, Shadow Fiend, I've got you, bro, he didn't really have anything. He kind of fell apart there. In the end. Shadow Fiend picking up his Sanjinasha at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And while they will smoke into the pit, no wards up for the Dire though, so no big deal. And the Satyr Kill Stealer, as I like to call him, gonna bring in his 2 HP regen aura, or 4 HP, wow, it actually is more powerful than I thought. Trollo gonna be spent, but they're gonna take a Roche here pretty easily. And hand it off to Troll, who's probably going for Sanjin Yasha or Manta. Maybe just a casual Yasha. Don't you love how I try to like infer what Troll's actually getting, and then just name all the things you could build out of with the Yasha. Meanwhile, their net worth on the side of 4ASC looking alright, keeping the core of their net worth there, and net worth is actually completely even here. His XP is quite a bit more ahead, but Matamba Man getting jumped on. Did he make it away? It looks like he did, getting grazed by a spirit or two here and there. He does have an ult available if they can get a good one off. Now, is there detection on this team? No, it doesn't look like there is, as actually there's a relocate back from Wisp and Io, who are going to TP back up top. They're trying to jump on the Queen of Pain, who will TP out just in time. Spirit Breaker making his charge across the map, but may not get it. Weaver in a little bit of trouble here. He is going to TP back home. Yep. Just head back. But a big ult used, no casualties, actually, from that entire fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And we will see them moving along right about there.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Matumba Man gonna grab a scepter when he can, of course. I'm assuming, yep, nothing on the courier for him. But he will get charged up here. We'll silence out the Spirit Breaker and should be able to blink away, well, shortly after. But it's gonna definitely be on the run. It couldn't go back for that illusion. I mean, there was no hope there. So we'll be trying to blink away. They tried to catch him with the ward, but they couldn't quite see him. Nice foresight from him, knowing that ward is probably there, and that gotta play it safe. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, it looks like Trixie could be getting caught out here. He does have, I hope, enough gold for the Scotty, or the, excuse me, Lincolns. Yeah, he does. He actually just bought it out. And they'll throw out the Swarm. F actually taking a ton of damage here. Fiend's Grip as well. But a wall thrown down by Darkseer will keep him back. Valix getting hit by that. Courier actually going to go down with that Lincoln's Recipe on it. And Trixie is now not in his happy place, I think we can all say. Meanwhile, Matumba Man trying to juke around in the tree line. I believe he did just TP up here, so he doesn't have a TP on his person right now. And even if he did, I bet it would be on cooldown. He is only about 500 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter. Sorry, just trying to communicate with my co-caster for Game 2, potentially Game 3. He's got some stuff with Dota Network. Immortals? Question mark? I don't know. Could be. And Nymphy will be picking up a Mithril Hammer, it looks like. Oh. Meanwhile, the arrow coming out from Marana. Not quite gonna make it there. It's Miposhka. He's gonna move up top now. We'll actually get hit by the Stifling Dagger there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. A little surprised he hasn't gone for any BKB here, as Nymphy is going to get jumped on here. Looks like Matumba Man getting hit. They are going to dust him up, though. And this is not a good situation for ASC. They do have to back off. F going to force Matumba to blink back for a second. Miposhka actually getting nightmared up as well. But a nice vacuum and a beautiful wall to hit on 3. Nymphy in a little bit of trouble as they are still sieging the top tower. There's your snowball in for just this Shadow Fiend ult coming out. It's a double kill for Barash here. Make it almost a triple as Darkseer takes him down. Valix is gonna get the Glimmer Cape off, but it's not gonna do too much. And it's Matumba Man against all the crew of the Yellow Submarine here in our nautical matchup. But a nice ult from him, retaining my status as a Matumba fan for sure. As Valix, oh, he might just get him. But Wisp is going to be able to heal up the Shadow Fiend very nicely here. There will be a buyback out from the Marana. Not sure if she had it on cooldown or not or what. But Miposhka gonna try to trade here. Actually, they could take him down. He just needs a few more right clicks. Is Nymphy gonna get it? He's gonna pop the drum charge. Doesn't have a leap available though, and I don't think he can chase this, especially with Wisp. They're just keeping the team alive. PSM here for MVP on the Wisp. Well, looks like some movement here from Miposhka. And Stifling Dagger coming out as well. Tusk able to come in there. There is going to be a relocate in from the Wisp, but Matumba Ban has no buyback. And this is not going to be great. Him buying out that Axe may have helped him secure a kill, but it's definitely not helping them to hold the base at the moment. As the bot racks is completely gone, the top racks exposed, and, well, range barracks having taken some damage, and now the mid racks under siege as well. Once again, guys, let me know who you were rooting for, be it for ASC or Yellow Submarine. In the chat on Truesight TV. If you're for some reason watching in Dota TV, don't forget you can check out twitch.tv/TruesightTV. And we really appreciate that as well. Nymphy, though, getting a Starstorm out there. There's a big ult coming out from Bowrash. And a 4-staff forward from the Bane. We'll see Trixie turning around on him. Spirit Breaker could be in a lot of trouble here. It's 6 seconds till Queen of Pain respawns, but they will be losing another Rax. I'm almost 100% sure here as it does go down. Trixie in a little bit of trouble. Will be forced to use the time lapse there, but of course not to dispel any dust. Does have level 16 at least though, so that's going to help him out a bit. Matumba Man throwing out the ult. It should kill off PSM, but it's not enough. 10 HP remaining on your Wisp there. Maybe even less if I'm a little mistaken, as he is going to head back to the fountain. Maybe food when he comes back. Meanwhile, the mid tower, or the tier 4 tower rather, being taken down. Miposhka gonna help take down the Mirana. Spirit Breaker buying back into the game. Where's his charge headed? Where is, oh, there's Tusk being charged down here. So we'll be turning around, trying to defend here. And I'm lagging. Oh god. Well, okay. That's not good. Hopefully we are right back up, as it looks like we are. In the meantime, I've missed a team fight. Very sorry about that, guys. Miposhka now dominating as he's taken down 2. Weaver getting back to the base right now if he can. Mirana going to respawn in a second, and Weaver actually picking up a Maelstrom to try and counter push. It looks like 4ASC still want to hold on as Miposhka is going to get jumped on, but the Requiem coming out from the Shadow Fiend is going to be enough damage, and Troll Warlord actually manages to live by some sort of miracle. Oh, it was a relocate. Just kidding. A nice way to free him from that Bane, and I wouldn't be too surprised if 4ASC were to respect ban out the Wisp next game. Boogie calling the GG, and that's going to be game 1 in the bag for Yellow Submarine. Guys, I'm SB Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. We should be having the Maker join me in just a second. But again, thank you for watching, and we'll be right back in game number 2. It is a best-of-3 series, so don't go anywhere. This is some outstanding Dota action, but Yellow Submarine looking very good moving into TI qualifiers.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.